What's up, everybody? Last night was Survivor Series 2011, and it was a great show last night. It was worthy of the name Survivor Series. Now, it's held in Madison Square Garden, so you know the New York fans are going to be always loud, in your face, chanting whatever they want, booing, cheering whoever they want. So, let's get started. Quick rundown. 6 matches, and all of them were, pretty decent. Couldn't complain about any of them, really. At the beginning of the show, John Laurinaitis comes out, welcoming everybody to the 25th year of Survivor Series, and that it was his 10th year working in WWE. Nobody cared, as, his raspy voice, and, nobody cared, as usual. So the first match is Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison for the United States Championship. Being in New York and having, Zack Ryder in that petition, I thought, Laurinaitis in the beginning was going to make it a triple threat, but it did not. So this match kind of suffered from the crowd, because that they always chant who they want, and if they don't like what they get, they're going to make their voices heard. So overall, the Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison match itself was a really good match. Ziggler is, prime time right now. He's a great seller, great athlete. I think he just needs to lose Vicky, and then, he'll be on his way to the top. But, like I said, the crowd throughout the match was chanting, "We want Ryder." They were booing Morrison, and they were chanting "boring." But I think that was in spite of how they wanted to. Either way, this match was going to get booed. I hope WWE knew that, because if they thought otherwise, they're dumb, really. New York City, whatever. But Dolph Ziggler ended up hitting the zigzag on John Morrison for the win. Now, he cut a promo after the match saying how good he was. Now he's pulling double duty tonight. The crowd still chanted, "We want Ryder." And then he finally comes out, massive ovation, massive pop, probably one of the best pops of the night. Comes down, clears out the ring, clears out Ziggler, and just plays to the crowd. The crowd's going nuts. Woo woo, you know it. And there we go. Even though he didn't have a match, I would have loved for him to have a match. It was a great spot, and they gave the crowd what they wanted, because if they didn't, we would have "We Want Ryder" chants all night. Next match was the Eve and Beth Phoenix Lumberjill match. A typical diva match, but Eve and Beth Phoenix are good wrestlers. Beth especially, she's basically, like I said before, in Karma's spot right now, if Karma was still around. And I think she'll probably hold the title until she comes back, probably till after WrestleMania, which she could, because, they don't really need to take the title out for her. But the finish saw one of the amazing thing, a glam slam off the top rope. That's the only thing the crowd reacted to that match, but it was amazing, and that looked like it hurt. So Beth Phoenix, still the champion with a super glam slam. Next up is the traditional Survivor Series match, Team Orton versus Team Barrett. And we could say is Team Orton consisted of Mason Ryan, Sheamus, Sin Cara, Kofi Kingston, and who else? That was it? Yeah, and Orton himself, whatever. So Team Barrett's team came out. Cody Rhodes, when he came out, he debuted his new knee pads, and that was something noteworthy amongst everybody, saying he got knee pads. He debuted his new music a couple weeks ago, but now he looks like a normal wrestler. He actually got a Cody chant from the New York crowd, so New York crowd was loving him. Cody Rhodes, next big thing, probably. Things worthy of note: Sin Cara got injured in this match. He was going to do a dive over the top rope, but he messed up his knee, basically. His tendon, something that's, anyway, he was going to jump, but I think he ruptured it before he jumped. That's why he couldn't get over the ropes, and then he did just a spill to the outside. This guy can't catch a break. Every time, since his debut, basically, he's, kind of botched a few moves. They call him Botch Cara. He had the wellness issue, and now this. He's going to be sidelined for 6 to 9 months. He's going to need surgery. So he's gonna be gone till after WrestleMania. Usually 6 months. It's gonna lead till June or August. So maybe SummerSlam. So that's a big hit for Sin Cara. I don't know if he's gonna come back now after this. I don't know if they're just gonna release him because everybody's gonna forget about him. You know, till that time. Before they know, Dolph Ziggler was the first one to get eliminated. You know, first 5 minutes in. It was funny enough. Unico, the Sin Cara Negro, his shirt was all dirty. I think it was from Mason Ryan's self spray tanner. I think he overloaded on that. But the eliminations went by as follows: Dolph Ziggler got hit by an RKO and was eliminated by Randy. Sin Cara, eliminated himself, so he was out. The third one, Mason Ryan got eliminated by Cody Rhodes. He hit him with Beautiful Disaster, then with the Crossroads, so he was gone. That was a big pop because everybody's on Cody's bandwagon, cheering for Cody there. Then Kofi Kingston got hit by the Wasteland, and he got eliminated. So that left Randy Orton and Sheamus against everybody minus Dolph Ziggler on Team Barrett. Then Sheamus eliminated himself by getting disqualified. He was kneeing Jack Swagger into the corner multiple times beyond the 5 count, and there he goes. I guess that kept him kind of strong because nobody pinned him to eliminate him, so they're still building up Sheamus a little bit there. Then it was, but before he left, he hit the bro kick on Swagger, and then Randy Orton, eliminated Swagger. Then Unico tried to do the a dive off the top rope, a springboard off the top rope. He ate an RKO, and that was it. But it was still Barrett and Cody versus Randy Orton. He tried to hit the RKO on Wade. Cody distracted him. Then waistline on Randy, and there we go. The sole survivors for this year's Survivor Series was Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes. They're building up these two guys, and for future world heavyweight title runs for Wade Barrett, and a legitimate IC title run for Cody Rhodes. Now Cody Rhodes, I think he should get a good victory, like a big win to solidify against Randy Orton at TLC, hopefully, because he's lost to Randy Orton on pay-per-view, and then that street fight, and I only think he won something that fans don't usually remember. Sure, he's got a couple wins on Randy Orton, but big time win with an IC title defense. I think that would solidify him. So there we go. Team Barrett wins, and to this point, this far, it's 3 heels winning on the Survivor Series match. In between them, The Rock cut a promo, and basically he hasn't missed a step. The promo had everybody listening. No chanting what, and they had on every single one of his words. They were captivated, and he had the whole MSG crowd chanting Frank Sinatra, New York, New York. So that was awesome. It brings me back to Attitude Era. When he was at his prime, him and Stone Cold as a kid watching the Monday Night Wars. It was awesome, great nostalgia. And WW XXVIII had promotions there where the Cytrons were the character models from the game, so that was cool. The game comes out tomorrow, and I can't wait for that. First wrestling game I'm getting in a couple years now. So next up we have The Big Show versus Mark Henry. The crowd chanting through this, sexual chocolate, boring at the middle part. They were chanting Undertaker, because I guess they thought Undertaker was going to return. They were even chanting D'Lo Brown, I guess for the Nation of Domination reference there. But this was probably the weakest of their matches between Big Show and Mark Henry. Money in the Bank and Vengeance matches were much better. They were strengthening the ring beforehand, make sure it didn't implode again. But that was to show the high spot in this match. Yes, it was Big Show who went to the top rope very gingerly, but he got there and he pulled off the Macho Man elbow drop, and that got Randy Savage chant throughout the arena. It was a good spot. And they had to show, you know, they didn't just strengthen the ring for nothing. So, Big Show hits the elbow drop, boom, but that doesn't count because he kicked out, and this match was kind of a dumb finish, but you know, whatever. It was Mark Henry kicking, giving a low blow to Big Show and getting himself disqualified. So you know, Mark Henry still retains. Big Show wins. It kind of made, you know, Mark Henry look a little weaker. You know, if he would have just like plowed through him like all the other people he's done in the past, you know, then he would deserve to you know, keep the title till WrestleMania. But that didn't happen. You know, they brawl a little bit after the match. It has to the point where Mark Henry has the chair in Big Show's ankle, ready to do the Vader Bomb onto it. He gets out, and you know, Big Show lays waste to him, the weapon of mass destruction, and then he puts the chair in Mark Henry's ankle and leg drops it, and then that lays out Mark Henry. People chanting then for Daniel Bryan to come out to cash it in, but he did not, and there we go. So Mark Henry has a injured ankle or leg because of the chair now. So I don't know where they're gonna go from here, but that's like afterthoughts. So overall, a weak match, probably the weakest of the card. But you know, there you have it. Shows wins, but not the title, and Mark Henry gets laid out. Now, next up, we have one of the best moments of the best matches of the night, and it is CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio comes out, doesn't really get, you know, attention, doesn't really get much heat on it, but CM Punk comes out, and a good moment here, Howard Finkel came out as CM Punk's personal ring announcer. Great moment. He was soaking it up. It was a Howard Finkel chant. He was swelling up. So he was taking it in. Took a little long, but he introduced CM Punk. I guess they call him the Second City Saint now, as one of his, you know, sub names. But he came out, loud pop ovation. Probably tied with Zack Ryder, if not a little bit more. Crowd was just loving him, as I knew he would. Knew they would. CM Punk's just like that guy that you can relate to and just like love to cheer right now. So CM Punk come down. They're getting an ice cream bar chant. He was loving that. They were getting a Colt Cabana chant. So you know, throughout the whole match, they were just loving it. And this match was a great match. Alberto Del Rio, you know, hate his character not, he puts on a good match, especially, you know, with CM Punk. This was like a high caliber match right here, going back and forth. If, you know, if they gave Del Rio a character that people would just either love or hate, I think he would be ready. I don't think he's ready for, you know, championship now to, you know, carry the flagship title, but that's just my thought. I think he's ready wrestling-wise, but, you know, the other half of it, as his character-wise, I don't think he's ready yet. But CM Punk, you know, Alberto Del Rio, great match, back and forth, but he's working on his arm the whole day, had him in the cross arm breaker, he gets out, they're ducking, they're, you know, getting out of each other's finishers. CM Punk hit with the elbow drop too, so that got another good Randy Savage chant. Stadium was jumping, pretty much. But at the end, it had CM Punk get Alberto Del Rio in the Anaconda Vice, and eventually tapping out for your new WWE champion, CM Punk. Crowd was electric, they were loving it. Really big ovation. He was jumping in the crowd, he was celebrating, it was just an awesome moment. Best match of the night, I would think, and best moment there, CM Punk winning. I think it was probably as good as his Money in the Bank win, because there wasn't that much, you know, shenanigans going on. This was a straight up win. Now, hopefully, he's gonna hold on to this title a lot longer than the first run. I think he can. I think most of the champions now can hold it till WrestleMania, and, you know, be that much better. I don't know if they're gonna put him in the Hell in a Cell, because I hate that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, because they might, 50%, 75, 25% chance that they lose it, but, I wish they would take that off and just have a straight run from WrestleMania, Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, but whatever. So CM Punk wins, new WWE champion. Phil Brooks. Okay, now finally we have the main event, never before, never again. The Rock and Cena versus Awesome Truth. Miz and R-Truth come down first. They do their song. Cena comes out first. This is the first time I've seen Cena not come out last, but when you're dealing with The Rock, everybody's small compared to him, stature-wise. So he comes out, boos, of course, getting killed by the crowd. Rock comes out, 7 years. It's good to see the entrance, the full thing, and the tights and the atmosphere, the electricity. Last time I saw him was SummerSlam 2000 whatever, when he lost to Brock Lesnar, and at that point people were chanting for Lesnar, and they were kind of sick of Rock. So it was good to see New York City chanting for him. Let's see what these notes. So The Rock and Miz started off, and Cena was on the outside, and wrestling ability wise, Rock doesn't look like he missed a step. After that, the crowd was chanting, "You still got it," getting the deep arm drags in, getting the punches in. He was did a fisherman suplex on Miz or R-Truth, but Cena came in to distract the referee by accident, and that you see the tension rift between right in the beginning of the match. So then they were chanting, "You still got it," right? Then the Fruity Pebbles chant broke out. Boots to Asses chant broke out. When Cena got in, they chanted, "You can't wrestle." So, Cena was pulling off some wrestling moves. He did a monkey flip on Miz and did a high drop kick. But then the crowd chanted, "You still suck." So there we go. Back and forth. It was a typical tag team match. It was one of those old school tag team match where they had the babyface cut off from the corner for a majority of the match, pounding him, couldn't get the tag, so that way when Rock finally got in, the hot tag, it would make that much. It will be more meaningful. Let's see. So typical match, blah blah blah, and then he tagged Rock in. And then pretty much that was the end of the match. He got his moves in. He got a spine buster, rock bottom, sharpshooter, and then finally the People's Elbow on the Miz to get the 1, 2, 3. Rock gets his win at Madison Square Garden, his first match back. Then, pretty much that's it. They still boo Cena. Cena's walking out. Rock says, "Come back in." Rock goes on turnbuckle to celebrate. They cheer him. He tells Cena to do it. They absolutely boo him. They like a show up, like a pose off, whatever. And then they look at each other. Cena's gonna walk away. Rock is right behind him. Turns around. Rock bottoms him. And of course Cena no sells, so he just rolls out of the ring, kind of limping his way back to see Rock finish off the pay-per-view. Cheering, people loving him. And there you have it. Rock and Cena win. Rock gets the victory at Madison Square Garden. That's your SummerSlam, Survivor Series main event. So overall, a great pay-per-view. I would give it like a 9 out of 10. The only thing, if fewer things happen, if Ryder was actually in the pay-per-view, I would have given it a 10. But that's nitpicking. But overall, good match, good pay-per-view. Now, coming up to the upcoming months now. Rock, I don't think is going to be back until probably a month before WrestleMania. I don't think he's going to make regular appearance. I think he's got like another movie coming up. But the last image is for this Rock Cena feud is Rock battering Cena. So does this set up to get Cena revenge at WrestleMania? Who knows? Sin Cara's out for 6 to 9 months. What's going to happen with his status now? Are they going to build him back up? When he comes back, gets the promos going, returning. Because now both masked wrestlers are out for the time being. So we'll see how that goes. How long does CM Punk hold the title for? Does he hold it till WrestleMania? Does he get screwed at Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, anything to then? Does he get screwed at Royal Rumble and then win it back at WrestleMania? So we'll see. What happens to Mark Henry now if he's injured? Does he drop the title to make him still strong that he never lost it? So when he comes back, he can have like a second title run. Where does Cena go from here? Who does he feud with from now until Elimination Chamber or now to Royal Rumble? Is he going to face R-Truth and Miz again? What's he going to do here? Is he going to just sit? It doesn't make sense for him to be in the Royal Rumble, but he might be in it anyway. Cody Rhodes has been built up now. Zack Ryder has been built up now with that lot of pop, that lot of ovation. WWE has to take notice now. Wade Barrett's been pushed now. Dolph Ziggler. So we have a lot of people now that are viable wrestlers to make viable storylines in the future. Now, the Cena heel turn, if it didn't happen last night, if he didn't cause Rocky to lose, I don't think it will ever happen because nothing will be as meaningful as if it happened last night, meaning that if you screwed over The Rock, it would just get a ton more heat than if you screw over, CM Punk in a match, So, the Cena heel turn, it's been talked about to death, but if it didn't happen last night, I don't ever see it happening, to tell the truth, unless, they have something in the works, but whatever. The crowd last night was amazing, probably the best crowd of the year, second to nobody. I don't know, second place would be probably the Money in the Bank crowd, the Chicago crowd. So they're not; those two crowds are not like anybody else, any of the small towns where they sit on their hands and just wait for the Cena to cheer or boo them. They're into every match. They'll chant every match and they'll hate you. They'll boo the heel. They'll boo the face. They'll cheer the heel. Case in point, Survivor Series, Psycho Sid, Shawn Michaels. They were a Psycho Sid crowd and they were booing Shawn Michaels a lot that year. I remember that when Psycho Sid won the WWF Championship. It was funny because I think Rock dropped a WWF bomb because they had to bleep it out even on pay-per-view, so that was funny. Best crowd, let's see. Now we're going up to TLC. What matches, what we'll see there. What I'm predicting is Punk versus Del Rio in a rematch. Probably a TLC match itself, getting all the ladders and chairs in there. I'm going to predict a fatal four-way for the United States Championship in a ladder match. Zack Ryder versus Mason Ryder versus Dolph Ziggler versus John Morrison. They can do a lot of spots there. And show off Ziggler. If he wins that match, then, he's a superstar now. And then, I don't know if it's going to happen this early, but probably Triple H versus Kevin Nash in a chairs match. Because I don't think they'll have it at Royal Rumble, because I think they should both be in the Royal Rumble and, eliminate each other again, and then have, a rematch at WrestleMania. But that's me. And, like I said, where does Mark Henry go? And there you have it. So, this video has been excessively long, I know. But there you have it, Survivor Series 2011. And I hope you enjoyed. And feedback, whatever you want. Until then, I'll catch you later.